Hi everybody, Joshua here with the Heavypiano YouTube channel. Let's talk about how to play Change by Big Thief. So there's three chords here: B flat, E flat, F, E flat, B flat, right? But let's talk about how I kind of voiced it on the piano. So I did like a B flat and then E flat over B flat. So it's like E flat in second inversion, right? First inversion, second inversion with the B flat on the bottom, and then F over C. So another second inversion back to E flat over B flat, right? So more or less just those three chords, and we can put them in root position sometimes, to kind of change the mood of the chords a little bit, but more or less those three chords, right? So a lot of the strength in this song comes from the feel of it and the lyrics and the setting, and it's an incredibly powerful song. And so I hope I didn't do it any I hope I did it justice by trying to create an instrumental version on the piano. But let's see here. Melody is on the D. Right? And then our chorus, the Would You Live Forever, goes up to F. So there, that time I'm going to the root position. So more or less the melodies follow those two different styles of melody. And you can kind of listen to the recording to see when she goes to higher note or lower note when she ends the phrases. But I'm going to play a little bit, and as I think of things or as I hear something I like, I'll kind of talk about what I'm doing. But we're thinking in terms of those three chords and then that melody. So let's create an introduction first. So one of the things I talk a lot about is modifying chords, right? So here's our basic B flat. We could add a sixth in there. We can make it suspended, and you start to get into the chords start to blur into each other. And a technique you can use is to switch between chords, is to use modifiers in your chord. So it's not such a big jump from one chord to another, right? So there's this lateral motion between chords. Right, so I'm just changing two notes there. So what's the least amount of notes I can change to get to that F over C? Right? So there's my chord, but I can hang on to that note there, and it kind of becomes like the sixth in the chord, right? So find ways, and there's our ninth in the F. So find ways to blend some notes from each chord into each other. Right? So that's one of the things I'm maybe thinking about when I'm creating these arrangements. So my melody, I'll start it down this middle section here. I use that lower note to kind of emphasize where I'm starting sometimes. I'm not landing on the note exactly on the downbeat. Going into it. So I have my main melody, but then I'm also doing these rhythmic notes in between, right? So I have my melody here, and then I'm outlining the chord, right? So I'm kind of filling in the chord here as an accompaniment to the melody. I'm trying to sing the melody in my head as I'm playing the melody line in my hand. So there, you know, I started to add a little more motion in my chords. There, I went to root position there. So I'm just kind of moving around, trying to create a little bit more motion and like energy in my playing. So I'm not just like, you know, just like hit chords or even just, you know, so which there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but what I'm trying to do is like recapture the way the song made me feel on the, try to recapture that on the piano. So I'm using some things like rhythmic techniques, like real quiet accompaniment notes in the background. You know, then think about like the way that changing the octave makes the song feel. Doing that little like racing up to the third is kind of a cliche, but you can use it, you know, tastefully or whenever you want. So I'm making the chorus bigger, right? I'm like trying to add a little bit of motion. So if I was up here before, I'm trying to emphasize, I'm landing on the chorus, right? Walking from one chord to another, and this time I'm using the root position of the E flat instead of keeping it in that E flat over B flat. You know, so anyway, so those are some ideas, those are some things I think about when I'm playing songs that have maybe simpler chord progressions. You know, like the nice thing about the Elliott Smith stuff is it's beautiful, but it's also very musically complex. And I don't mean to like compare a song is better than the other because of how complex it is. This song, this Change song, is incredibly powerful and beautiful. But when you're bringing it onto, you know, just like a solo instrument like on the piano, you know, try to think of ways that you can create, you know, maybe some dissonance, things that want to resolve, and like some interest in your playing, and try to recreate what the artist did, if you want. But anyway, yeah, 3 chords there. Take a look at my version on the acoustic and see if this video is helpful. I hope it is helpful. Thank you to patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel, getting your requests in there as well. If you haven't heard Big Thief, I highly encourage you to check them out. They're great. But until next time, I will catch you later. Thanks for watching.